Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. I am looking for Billy, by the way. I don't see Billy. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
28.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I sure do.
Okay. Why so?
I like that Trump kicked men out of women's sports. That's my favorite one right there.
Okay. I think that trans women are women. Can you name one trans woman specifically that was dominating in women's sports that you think should not have been able to play?
So I'm going to say Leah Thomas.
One, she wasn't dominating women's sports. She definitely didn't win in every circumstance.
I
Um,
mean, she was doing like a lot better in women's sports than he was in male
don't
sports.
do that. Don't do that. And then that's I don't even think that's true. You'd have to look at the set of circumstances, and even then, that doesn't mean it's so unfair insofar as that like they shouldn't be allowed to play, right? So
But
like
e-
they clearly weren't dominating. So she definitely should be allowed to play. I don't see a reason why she shouldn't be allowed to play.
but then again, though, we do have separation between male and female sports for a reason. So I think it should just be kept that way. I don't believe I believe, all right, if you want to say you're a woman, all right, fair enough, go for it. But I think it should be looked at as a handicap and not, all right, well, you can just go and do female sports. I
What?
don't, like, if you're
What?
in a
What?
wheelchair, you can't dance. It just is what it is.
Specifically people who are disabled, you're saying. Now, if you're talking about separation of sports, right, you would say that separation of sports would be specifically justified in the connotation in which it would make it unfair. If this set of circumstances is not unfair, then you clearly wouldn't see a reason to separate people from playing. Right. So if you can't identify that trans women specifically would have some biological advantage that would make it unfair in a specific circumstance, well, then you're saying that they should be allowed to play. And after multiple years of HRT, it is the case that someone specifically does not have a biological advantage that's so unfair insofar as they should not want to they should not be able to play. And also, like
I'm just saying they
again,
shouldn't be able
there
to
are
play
more
when, like,
sexual
some
assault
BBJ board.
allegations. There are more sexual assault allegations from different women against Donald Trump than there are trans people that were playing in sports, right? In
I
the
didn't bring up
NCAA.
sexual assault, though. I didn't bring that up.
What's up?
I didn't bring up sexual assault, though.
I know you didn't, but I'm just giving you an acknowledgement that there were less people, right, specifically who were trans in the context of the NCAA, right, than there are sexual assault allegations from different women against Donald Trump.
All right, I'll acknowledge that.
So, like, why do you see that to be an issue? Like people being in sports, right, when they don't make it unfair, right, comparative to like Donald Trump specifically, right, being a sexual abuser, or Donald Trump walking into the changing rooms of naked women without their consent, where an 18-year-old came out said there were four girls as young as 15 years old in these changing rooms when Donald Trump would barge in.
I just think that female sports should be left to females. If trans individuals want to have their own league, I'll support that. But I
There aren't
don't
enough
think it should
trans
be.
people to have their own league. What are you talking about?
Well, then sucks to suck, I guess. I mean,
No,
I don't
there's
think
no there's
trans should
no
be.
there's no advantage that they have that makes it unfair insofar as that they shouldn't be allowed to play.
Well, they do have an advantage though. Like in combat sports,
Wait, so I have a
once you
question. Should
go,
trans should trans
hold
women be
on.
able to play in women's chess?
I don't think. I don't really think that counts as a sport, does it?
What? What is a sport?
Chess. Sports, soccer, swimming,
No,
football.
not an example. What is a sport? Give me a definition.
Shoot, I don't know what the definition is off the top of my head.
What about golf?
Oh yeah, that's a sport. Yeah.
Should trans women be allowed to play in women's golf?
No,
Why?
because a trans woman is going to have no muscle, like more muscle
Not
density, so
after
they're going to be able
multiple
to hit the
years of
ball harder.
HRT. Definitely not after multiple years of HRT.
It's not going to be what it was, but it's still going to be there. There's still going to be an innate difference.
Well, I'm sorry. After multiple years of HRT, they don't have such a muscle advantage that they wouldn't be allowed to play in golf, dude. That's ridiculous.
Nah, man, you're just
I
believing
don't
the
think you
propaganda.
understand. I don't think you understand what HRT does to like to the body.
I mean, I know HRT reduces. I mean, it depending on the drugs you're on, can reduce the amount of testosterone in your body, and it can lessen your muscle density, but it's not gonna make it equal to that of a woman's.
So again, can you give me any source that it would specifically be so unfair and so insofar as that they should not be allowed to play? Because I can show you an article or not an article, a study right now that indicates that there's not much of a difference insofar as that they shouldn't be allowed to play. And
I
especially after
mean,
multiple years of HRT, if anything, in some circumstances, there's lesser muscle mass
really?
for plenty of individuals. Yeah. So if in a circumstance a particular trans person has lesser muscle mass than the average cis woman, should they be allowed to play?
I mean, if it can be proven, I guess I can't really say anything against it as long
Okay,
as
so
it's
then you're
kept fair.
saying that trans people should be allowed to play in sports then. So then like
I mean, if what you're
the
saying
idea
is
that trans women
true,
shouldn't be allowed to play in women's sports in any circumstances, you clearly disagree with. So obviously that wouldn't be a reason why you support Donald Trump. So would you like to try again and tell me why you support Donald Trump?
all right, well, I'll go to my next one. I like what he's been doing with the border. I like that he's keeping illegals out of the country.
Undocumented immigrants. What specifically about the border?
It's just more secure. He's amping up spending to the border to make sure that we can keep undocumented immigrants out of here. I don't know what the issue is with saying illegal immigrants, but
It's preferable to say undocumented immigrants. Now, you're saying you just want to get undocumented immigrants out of the country. Can you tell me one manner in which mass deportation benefits our society when you're deporting people who have not committed a violent crime or a bad crime?
well, I mean, they committed a crime by coming here illegally or by
Yeah, but
staying
it's
here
not a
illegally.
bad crime. I mean, do you care about Donald Trump's felonies?
I mean, I care, but I can't say it's the biggest issue in the world. I
Okay.
mean,
So then
he is an
why
American
is it a big
citizen.
issue when someone comes to the country undocumented, which is a misdemeanor, but it's not a big issue when the president commits 34 felonies?
Well, 34 felonies, yes, but there's only one. There's only one charge on him, though. There's only
34
one
No,
real
there's
charge.
34 felonies. He was convicted of
Yeah,
34 felonies.
it's all the same charge, though.
It's no, he was convicted of 34 different felonies.
No, I'm pretty sure there are 34
He is
different
a
counts, but
34
all the same
count
charge.
felon, bro. He's a 34 count felon.
Yeah, they're all the same charge, though. It's not like it's different charges. It's not like he has this
It's
giant
still
rap sheet.
34 different felonies.
It's 34 felonies, yes, but they're all one charge. It's not like there's multiple
No, it's
different
not
charges.
one charge.
All right, then how many different charges are there, and what are they?
Wait, sorry. So technically, I mean, if the way it depends on how you define the word charge. If you're saying one charge could be applicable to multiple different crimes, well, then you're saying the same thing is true in the context of double murders, right? They were charged one time for two different murders.
Yes, the same thing.
Okay, so then what's the point of you saying one charge? What's the relevant? 34 time felon,
Yeah, he
34
only
count
has.
felon.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal, and you have to look at what he was charged for. He was charged for mismanaging his books.
So it's falsification of business records in the first degree, which is a Class C felony in the state of New York because of a predicate crime, which means in furtherance of another crime. So again, you don't give a shit about specifically Donald Trump committing felonies, but you do care about undocumented immigrants coming to the country for a better life.
Yeah, if you're going to come here legally. Come here the right way.
Okay, so then you must say
If you're
that.
not, if
Wait,
you're
wait,
not
wait. So then
here,
you must
hold
say that
on,
Donald
hold
Trump.
on.
So you must say that Donald Trump needs to deport people the right way. Then he needs to go through the legal process, right?
No, they're here illegally. Kick them out. I don't care how to do it.
Wait, I thought you were saying that they need to go through the legal process, but Trump doesn't have to go through the legal process.
No,
So
they
the
have
legal,
to. They
so
have
the
to
legal
do.
process applies to undocumented immigrants, but it does not apply to Donald Trump. You're saying Donald Trump is above the rule of law. That's what you just said.
No, that's not what I'm saying. You're putting words in my mouth. No, I'm saying if you come here legally, no, it's a wrap. Get out of here. I don't care how you get out of here, but get out of here. If you want to come in here the right way. If you come here the right way, is what it
If
is.
you
You're
want to
here.
deport people, do it the right way.
I mean, if you're deporting illegal immigrants, I hate to say it, but you come here
Everyone
illegally.
within the country, as granted by the 14th Amendment, are granted due process rights. Every single person within the jurisdiction of the country is granted due process rights. Because in order to determine that they've committed a crime, you have to have due process.
So then why isn't anyone able to stop him? Why is he able to do it?
By the way, there are particular types of courts that are trying to stop him. And again, in terms of this, again, there is obviously a limitation to the government being able to limit him from engaging in certain types of actions. I think that's a limitation to the checks and balances that we have. I think that's an issue. There's also a lack of enforcement mechanism for the Supreme Court, too.
I mean, if he's doing something illegal, all right, run him through the court system again. But pretty sure y'all tried that before and it didn't fly all that good for you guys.
What do you mean? Like us literally, well, we didn't do it. That was him being convicted for crimes that he committed. It wasn't Democrats that convicted him. What?
No, I'm saying that whenever he was president at first, the left tried to impeach him, and it really didn't fly all that well for you
He
guys.
did
You
get
took a shot at
impeached.
the
He
thing and you
got
missed.
impeached. He just didn't get confirmed. It just didn't get confirmed
Well,
to.
yeah, that's true. He got
So
impeached. He didn't get kicked out. Y'all took a
he,
shot at
he
the
he
king.
should
Y'all
be
missed.
kicked out of the position of presidency. He definitely should be.
Nah,
I mean, he
nah.
incited a
He
violent
was a good
insurrection at the
president.
Capitol. He definitely should be.
Dude,
Or
that
sorry,
wasn't
sorry, chat.
an
He
insurrection.
I do remember he was impeached twice. My bad. I need to add the second time.
Yeah, I mean he
Twice,
was
dude.
once. Yeah, y'all took two shots at him and you missed both times.
What do you mean, y'all? The first guy
The
was
the
literally a
left,
Trump supporter. He
the
was on the
left.
right. He was a conservative.
Yeah, well, he was siding with the left and he missed. He
What do you
took a
mean
shot and he
siding with
missed.
the left? Come on, that's ridiculous.
Everyone that was going up trying to impeach him was siding with the left, and the left
He
was
was a
sitting there crying,
registered
"Oh,
Republican. I'm sorry.
he's saying mean
So
things. He's
even when
saying
it wait,
mean
by
things."
the way, even when the person's a registered Republican, they still blame us. They still blame us.
I can't argue with that one. They do blame you guys. I'm not going to argue that one.
Wait, restate that, Alexander. Thank you so much for the $25. Thank you so much on PayPal. Thank you.
I said I'll agree with you. Even whenever they are, Republicans and registered Republicans, they do blame the left. I won't. I'm not going to argue that one.
Okay,
But
so
no,
what's your point?
Trump. I'm just saying the left tried to impeach Trump and they failed. They failed miserably.
Okay, what's your point with that though?
If Trump's breaking all these laws, why weren't they able to make it stick? If everything you're saying is true, why couldn't they make it stick?
If everything I'm saying is true, why couldn't they make it
Yeah.
stick? Because it is the case that you need enough people in the context of Congress, Republicans in
Yeah,
Congress.
and if you have all the proof, you need, and everything you say is true and watertight and floats, why weren't they able to make that boat go? That boat sank like a rock.
Wait, say that one more time.
I said that boat didn't float. As in, and by boat, I mean in trying to impeach Trump or trying to kick him out of office. They tried to make that boat float, and it didn't float. It sank like a rock. It went nowhere.
Wait, repeat what you just said. Sorry, I was responding to a text and I didn't even hear half what you said.
Oh, I said that whenever they were trying to impeach Trump and they were trying to kick him out of office, it didn't go anywhere. And I used the analogy: if everything that if everything they were saying was airtight, why didn't that boat float? It sank. They couldn't make it. They couldn't make it stick. They couldn't get the numbers they needed to vote him out.
Okay, I
But
don't
if
know why
they,
you keep. Hey, dude, if you just keep repeating the same thing, I don't know how to keep responding to you. Why do you keep saying this? At this point, what the fuck do you, what's the point?
I'm just asking you, if everything you're saying is true and he's so bad, why weren't they able to kick him out of office?
I already answered this question. What was my
They didn't
answer?
have the numbers. They didn't have the numbers they needed. So that means that
Wait,
what they were saying,
because of Republicans? Because it's Congress?
yeah, they didn't have the numbers they needed to kick
Wait,
him
wait,
out.
I'm
because
sorry.
what
I'm sorry.
they-
When
what
you
they're
when you
saying
say,
wasn't
it's
true.
so disingenuous because even if he was determined to this to have been the case, you still wouldn't accept it. You'd still call it fake and bullshit because you don't accept
No, I
the
wouldn't.
felonies he was
No, I
convicted of.
wouldn't.
You don't accept that when he was a jury determined that he sexually abused Eugene Carroll. You don't accept that. You act
Yeah,
like
how do you
if
know?
it,
You didn't ask me that one.
wait, the jury indicated. Do you believe it?
I believe it could have happened. Yes.
No.
I
Do you believe it
coulda
did
happened.
happen? I asked you if you believe it did it happen.
I believe it could have happened.
No, I want an answer. Did it happen or did it not happen, under your view?
I'd say I believe it could have happened. I'm not going to say it didn't happen. I'm not going to say it did. I believe it could have happened.
Yeah, and I could have $1 trillion too. Can you answer the
could.
question? Answer the question.
I did answer. I said it could
No,
have
you're
happened.
not. That's not an answer.
Yes,
I
I
didn't
did.
ask you. I didn't ask you if it could be the case. I asked you, do you believe it to be the case?
Is he charged with it?
He was held civilly liable unanimously amongst a jury of 9 people for forcefully penetrating Eugene Carroll's vagina against her will.
Well, if he was held liable, then I guess it did happen.
Okay, then if you agree that it did happen, well, then it is the case that then why did you vote for a guy that sexually abused a woman?
I don't vote for him based off his morals. I voted on him. I
Wait,
voted
so
for him. Based
you
off
would
his
vote for a
policy.
guy that raped a woman?
If his policies are good, I'm not voting. I'm not voting for him
If
because
his
he's a good
policies are
person.
good, I'm sorry. If the victim were a child, would you still vote for him?
No, you're a monster at that point. That's a
Okay, so
child.
why
You're
are
a
you a
monster.
monster if the victim's a child, but not if the victim's a woman? Aren't
Because
rapists who rape women monsters?
yes, they are
So
monsters.
then why didn't you say that about Donald Trump when it was the case that the victim was a woman and is a woman?
Because I'm not voting on him. I'm not voting for him because I think he's a good person. I voted for him because he has
Well,
good
I'm sorry, but
policies.
you're willing to overlook it when it is the case that the victim's a woman, but you're not willing to overlook it when the victim's a child? What's the relevant difference between the two scenarios? That means in one scenario, you're willing to overlook it and still vote for him because of the policies, but in the other scenario, you're not willing to overlook it even though you agree with his policies.
Because if a child, that's like the purest form of innocence we have on this earth. And if
I'm
you
sorry,
steal
any
that,
person who was raped was innocent. I'm confused. Right? What are you talking about? E.
I
Jean
said
Carroll was innocent.
innocence. I said innocence.
I'm sorry, what do you mean? I'm confused why you're saying that like children have a greater degree of innocence insofar as that like if they're assaulted that you're willing to overlook it when it's a woman. Like that's so fucking weird, dude.
I'm not saying I'm willing to overlook it,
You
but
literally just said that. You said you were willing to overlook it because it is the case that you agree with his policies, but his policies are the same if the victim were a
okay.
child and you were not willing to
hold up,
overlook it
hold up.
then.
Did Trump get locked up for raping a woman?
He was held civilly liable. The reason why it wasn't in a criminal court was because of the statute of limitations on SA cases in the context of New York.
All right. So then, how can we say without a doubt that this woman wasn't making shit up and just was able
Because the
to?
jury determined it to be true. A unanimous decision from the jury.
Trying to remember if I heard about this one.
Just because you didn't do research doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I haven't heard about that one, so I don't know too much about it. You might be right.
I am right. So, given that this is true, why would you still vote for Donald Trump?
Well, making me think here. Shit. Oh, am I allowed to say that word on TikTok Live? Is
What word?
that shit? I don't know if that goes against TikTok's guidelines. I don't want to get you demonetized.
I don't know what word.
Shit.
No, you're fine.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, if that's true, then I kind of regret voting for him.
Okay. All right. So, if you could go back in time, you wouldn't?
If he actually raped a girl, no, I wouldn't because
He did.
that's
Okay.
horrible.
All right. Appreciate you coming up. Let's go to the next person. Only send a